Welcome back to Lone Wolf, the Cauldron of Fear, book 9. We've had 2 attempts at this, but it's not even as hard as book 8, I think. So I've been able to get to what I think is probably the last page, the boss fight. Well, not the last page, but the almost last page. And it's kind of a forced fight, but it seems like there's an option if you have a dagger. I don't know what happens if you have the dagger, but that takes you to a different page. So maybe that's a way to make it much easier. All right, so starting a new run, but we have really bad skill. So we'll try to find a way to avoid the combats. Alright, so we start. We question the people. Get the invitation. I don't know what you even use this stuff for, but I'll do it. Talk to the farm hands. Go to Sidara. Shoot the bow. Alright, and then we get all this stuff. We can take a sword and a candlestick. Sure. We got a lantern already? Okay. Brass whistle. I don't want the torch. Take the torch out. Still decanter. We should take the meals because... Oh, each meal counts as a... Oh, damn. No, don't take the meals. Fine, we'll take the crystal decanter. We haven't found out what any of this stuff is used for. And then we get this stuff. It's just so much junk. I think they're just trolling us, aren't they? You're not going to use any of this stuff or anything. Like blanket is useful if it's cold and we want to keep warm, but it didn't come up. Right, throw away something. Take scroll of honor. Oh my god. We had 6 times in a row we had rolled 5 to 9, which means the president votes to seize you. But this time we've actually got his favor. Alright, let me just get my coffee and we'll be on a new page. Alright, so, 0 to 4. Standing beside the president's chair is a solid marble plinth with a bronze beacon, the Anarian symbol of law and order fixed to the top. The president moves his hand to the padded arm of his chair and presses a button. All eyes are on the beacon. There is a flash of ignition and a jet of green flame rolls upwards towards the dome's ceiling. The Senate votes to aid your quest, Lone Wolf. says Senator Zilaris. Come, we will escort you to the Square of the Dragons and make preparation for the Cauldron to be opened. The assembly is dissolved and the state coaches are summoned to take you and all the senators to the Tahu Cauldron. You share a carriage with the president, Senator Zilaris, and Senator Chill, who is anxious to apologize for opposing the majority vote. I trust you will forgive me, Lone Wolf, he says, unctuously. I merely proposed what I thought was best for my country, but now I realize I was wrong. Yeah, you were wrong. You nod benignly, in the hope that he will cease his fawning. He smiles and turns to the president. Sir, I feel I must make amends for my misguided action in the Senate. If Lone Wolf is to enter the Cauldron tonight, surely it is our duty to ensure that he is adequately equipped. I propose that we visit one of my warehouses, where he is free to take anything he requires. The president agrees and the carriage is redirected to a warehouse near the Square of the Dragons. Senator Chill has many business interests in the city, and he supplies much of the weaponry and armor that equips the army. His warehouse is full of supplies, and you are encouraged to take whatever you need. Alright, take another quiver and arrows. They're not actually giving me that much. Well, okay, they're giving me weapons, but I've got a rope. Wait, do we? Oh, we don't have rope. We're gonna need a rope, so we'll chuck away this stuff. In addition to your supplies, Senator Chill provides the winch, ropes, and cradle by which you will be lowered into the shaft that descends to Zarix. Upon your arrival at the Square of the Dragons, he supervises the assembly of these vital components while you stand with Senator Zilaris and stare in awe at the Cauldron itself. In the glow of 100 lanterns, it takes on the appearance of a huge steep-sided sink that is stoppered with a plug of stone. The key to this plug is a rod of corlinium that, until this evening, was kept locked in the vaults of the Anarium. Now it rests in the hands of the president. Senator Chill signals that his work is complete, and the president inserts the crystal rod into the plug of ancient stone. At first, nothing happens. Then you sense a vibration beneath your feet. Crackling tongues of pale blue fire lap the rim of the plug, and the hiss of escaping air breaks the seal of the 3 centuries grind that holds the plug in place. Levers and ropes are brought into action, and slowly the great block is lifted and the shaft to Zarix are covered. There will be troops posted here at the Cauldron, ready day and night to pull you up when you're ready to leave Zarix, says Senator Zilaris, as he helps you into the cradle that will lower you into the shaft. Just give the rope 3 stout tugs, that is the signal. Senator Chill appears to tell you everything is prepared for your descent. Good luck, Lone Wolf. I hope I will be here to welcome your safe and successful return, and that you will come to know me as a friend. Ah. What did the mysterious man in the hut say? He says we will find a friend and that he will betray us. A senator? A senator betraying us? Unthinkable. The cradle rises and you are swung into position above the entrance. You stare down into the black abyss, your pulse quickening as a damp and icy wind whistles out of the shaft, carrying with it the cloying smell of decay. With a wave, you signal your readiness and you're slowly lowered into the void. For the first few minutes of your descent, you can see the red stone walls encircling the cradle. Then a jagged rim of rock marks the end of the shaft, and you're plunged into total blackness. You can make out no walls or floor, and the shaft itself is now just a small circle of grey in the darkness above. The rope shudders, and instinctively you grab the rim of the cradle as it jerks violently to one side. Your knuckles whiten and cold sweat bathes your brow. The cradle swings and twists wildly, then a crack echoes in the darkness above as the rope snaps and you plunge headlong into the abyss. You fall like a stone into the whirling blackness. In desperation, you thrust out your arms, hoping to seize an outcrop or ledge, but there is nothing in the void for you to grasp. The freezing wind screams past your face, and your senses are overwhelmed by the horror of your impending doom. Suddenly, an icy shock engulfs you as you strike the surface of a lake and plunge into its lightless depths. Stunned by the sudden impact and numbed by the icy water, you sink several fathoms before you can muster your strength and strike out for the surface. Oh dear. The icy water clogs your nose and throat and numbs you to the bone. Desperately, you fight to control the panic gnawing at your insides as your air-starved lungs fill your chest with an agonizing pain. Sabito? What is that? Although you cannot gauge how deep you are, you know that your strength is fading fast. If you are to avoid a watery death, you must shed some of your equipment. We'll go with half. I don't get to choose which half? Oh, okay. There is no time to choose which equipment to keep and which to throw away. The decision to discard half your equipment proves to be a fatal error of judgment. The amount of weight you have jettisoned is not enough to help you rise to the surface, for cramp afflicts your aching limbs. Unable to resist your doom, you sink slowly to the bottom of the lake, weighed down by your backpack and the water that now fills your lungs. Okay. We were greedy, but we needed to. There's no way we would survive without our items, but then... whatever. I don't like that route. It was better to go the thieves route. Alright, start again then. Oh yes, max combat skill. This has got to be the run. Ooh, shall I take... I'll take Hunt Mastery. To be optimal for the final boss, we probably want Size Surge, but Hunt Mastery is good overall. It'll get us there. Alright, so we want bow and quiver. A potion, lantern, fire seed. Okay. Alright. Start again. Alright, so we're just running through this again. Alright. And then we give the invitation. Oh no. See, I don't like this route. Even though it's theoretically the better route. Well, it seems the better route because they're helping us get in there. But... oh god. Oh, they don't have a sword? Oh no. Oh no. We're not gonna have a mastered weapon. Oh, that's bad. Oh, bollocks. So he gives a broadsword. He gives broadsword or short sword or dagger. I should pick one of them next time. Maybe short sword. Alright, and then we fall into the water. It seems like it was a... we'll do this again. Discard half the stuff. Because it's a coin flip, basically. Okay. With half your equipment discarded, you are able to claw your way up through the black water. Finally, you reach the surface, coughing and gasping for air. At first, the incredible coldness stunned your senses, but now it revives them, spurring you to swim towards the distant shore that gleams faintly in the dim half-light. Aching and numb to the bone, you heave yourself out of the lake and collapse on the flat, spongy rocks that line the shore. Did I increase the death count? I gotta check back at the beginning of the stream. Yeah, I did. Okay. As your eyes become accustomed to the strange blue-green half-light, you notice something unusual lying on the shore 100 yards away. You approach cautiously and discover that it is the rope that once supported the cradle. The cradle itself now lies at the bottom of the lake, but a section of the rope fell to the shore. You examine it and discover that the end has been cut through with a sharp blade. The shock of this discovery sets your heart racing and you rack your brain, trying to think who would commit this act of deliberate sabotage. You know of only one who could have done such a ruthless deed. Gradually, as the feeling returns to your frozen limbs and your heart ceases to hammer in your chest, you feel bitterness and resentment welling up inside. You lift your face and give vent to an angry shout, cursing Senator Chill for his act of callous treachery that so nearly sealed your doom. Like, why would Senator even do that? Like, there's no point killing us, because he wanted to hand us over to the enemy. If he kills us, then he can't do that. So, like, why would he actually want to kill me? That's not in his interest at all. Your voice travels through the dark towards a tiny speck that is the shaft of the cauldron 500 feet above. But none hear your cry. The Senate is convinced that you have perished in the fall and have ordered the plug to be lowered back into position. Helplessly, you stare into the void and watch with fear and frustration as the tiny speck flickers and then disappears. Your spirits sink as you contemplate your fate. The only way you know of escaping from this gigantic underground grotto has now been sealed off. Hang on, just need to check something. Okay. Alright. As your eyes become accustomed to the half-light, you look across the lake to see tiers of grey stone rising out of the water. They are the steps of a gigantic staircase which ascends to an arch of rock veined with glittering minerals. You skirt the edge of the lake and arrive at the foot of these steps to discover a cave-like hollow chiseled from the stone. You are exhausted and must now eat. Oh, now we're here? We don't have the... we don't have a weapon that we've mastered. Oh, that's so annoying. So we're not going to be able to beat the final boss. Alright, so we can attack this thing. -4 bucks. Right. Next time we'll have to take a weapon. Alright, well we win, but we get the psychic ring. The last time, let's do what I did last time. We approached them. And then we have the lantern. So this one's 320. So the thing is 326. $326. And we tell her why we're here. Does she give us a weapon? Come on, we can beat this if she just gives us a weapon. I can help the soldiers. Now we have this whole assault. Use the bow. Oh, we're getting really hurt. And then Captain of the Senate House Guard is asking me for help. Alright, fine. Wow. Jump on his wagon. And then he... so at this point, we chose to jump off the wagon. We'll stay on the wagon this time. What? The wagon descends a steep hill that runs parallel to a section of the city wall under bombardment from enemy catapults. As you near the bottom of the hill, a huge stone ball drops from the sky and slams into the wagon, killing 2 horses, the captain and you. Tragically, your life ends here. What? You just stay on the wagon and die? Come on. Oh, I had good combat skill that time. Alright, come on, just 8. Alright, I think we can do this. Let's go follow that path. The path that I know. We'll take sword, bow, short sword. They offered a short sword, so... Hearing, mastery. Alright, make sure we take... the fire seed, lantern, the potion, rope, bow, the swords, because we'll get put the lantern away. We'll get a lantern. Take the sword. They'll give us one. Alright. Alright, let's go through all this again. Did I get the invitation? Yep, alright. Take a lantern and a whistle, and then this crap. Blanket, I suppose. Alright. Why do they have so many things to give you that don't seem to be used? Alright, what's it gonna be? Alright, cast out. That's actually good. That means we end up here. Get more arrows. So he gives dagger, spear. Alright, so if we choose dagger skill, we can get a dagger in either path. So we should do that really to be optimal. I don't know. Take. I mean, we didn't really. Take. Canteen of water. Oh, definitely need the rope. Absolutely need the rope. Alright, drop the candlestick. Okay. So we got sword, alright. Alright. And then we're gonna fight a ghoul. Yeah. Got hurt a bit. Okay, so we get the token. We do need to kill this thing. Because he has the ring. Ooh, we got hurt quite badly. Okay. Alright. Approach. $326. Alright. Then drop. Wait. 13. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Okay, that's easy. 326. Tell her why we are here. And then we get fully healed. Alright, so far so good. So then we just do these fights. This should be easy. This guy, not too bad. Ooh! Got hurt a bit. Fine. Now we jump onto the wagon, but we have to jump off again, or we just die. Alright. So we enter the tower. Alright. This is where we get the big fight. We should heal. It's still going to be a tough fight. We do have the psychic... Oh, he hurt us for 5 immediately. We do have the psychic brain. -7. Jesus, we can't win this. What? And that's with almost top combat skill. Where do we get the dagger? How are you supposed to do that? Alright, we've definitely got to take Psy... We've got to have 9 combat. And we've got to take these Psy... Blast, just to get that 1 extra combat skill. That would make it a -6. Which would be just a bit better. Alright, start again. Oh, okay. 8. Okay. Alright, so we want weapon mastery. So we take a dagger, sword and bow. Curing. And say surge. That will make the... That'll be better for the final fight. Alright, and then we take bow, quiver, potion, fire seed, and turn. We get given a rope. Right. Not much money, doesn't matter, the thieves steal it all anyway. Do all this again. Gotta find that dagger. But that means I gotta try different things and... Let's try something different here. Like, just fight them straight up. Alright, this is new. The Doomorphs howl, and the Jack Riders cackle with glee as they hurl themselves upon you. You lash out at a grey-skinned rider, cleaving his grinning head in two, and swinging your arm back just in time to dispatch a Doomwolf that is leaping towards your face. All around you, the snarl and screech and press of bodies threaten to overwhelm your senses, but you are a Kai Master, and in the heat of battle your nerve is ice cool. Grimly, you fight with a speed and skill that leaves a dozen dead in as many blows. But you do not fight alone. Vanadon rears into view, flashes of flame spurting from his fingers with a crack like a whip that echoes above the din of combat. Then another wave of wolf riders appears. They charge into the fray, driving a wedge between you and your companion. A black sword cuts the air less than an inch from your scalp, but you deal its wielder a fatal blow before he can strike a second time. He falls. Yet his Doomorph mount leaps up and clings to your horse, its claws buried in the saddle leather, its foaming jaws snapping at your throat. You must dispatch this beast quickly before it drags you to the ground. The Doomorph breathes its last, but its claws remain hooked in your saddle. You strive to cut it away, but your horse can no longer bear its weight. With a neigh of terror, his legs buckle and you are thrown to the blood-soaked ground. Before you can regain your feet, you are set upon by the snarling Jack horde. I'm sorry, what? Minus 24? Is this a joke? You can't... There's no way. What? Even with, like, everything. How is that possible? They're just trolling us at this point. You can't win this fight. Minus 24. That's off the chart. Like, if it was minus 11, you're basically insta-killed anyway. How could you possibly... It's 8. Wait, where's my weapon? Oh. I don't have a weapon. But even so, that doesn't make a difference. Alright, well, they're just trolling. Dead in one hit. Alright, definitely don't fight them. There's no way you can beat that. They've got 56 health as well. But there was an option. If we beat the previous fight faster, they wouldn't have caught up to us, I guess. So... Damn it, we got no combat skill. Alright, this is the time to explore and try and find the dagger. So we can't win those fights. Where could we possibly find a dagger? Are there any other options I should try? It was a magical dagger, so it's probably down in the underground. We're not going to find it above ground. Alright, we'll try different things. For example, let's ignore these people. Ignore them. Okay, this time we're going to follow the track because it's leading the wrong way. Gradually, the track narrows and then disappears altogether, and you find yourself riding through a sea of tall green wheat. You press on for over an hour until you see a faint glimmer of light stretching across the horizon in the far distance. Shielding his eyes from the sun, Banadon surveys the horizon. After a few minutes, he shakes his head. No tracks or highway, not even a sign of habitation for that matter. To get a better view, we need to reach higher ground, but as there are no trees or hills in sight, I'll have to improvise. And with that, he whispers the runes of a Brotherhood spell. Slowly, he rises from the saddle until he is hovering in the air over 20 feet above your head. Then, having scoured the surrounding countryside, he descends slowly as the effects of his levitation spell begin to wear off. There's a river on the horizon, he says, slipping his feet back into the stirrups. It's probably the Churdas. Over to the right, about 5 miles away, there's a small village on the riverbank. Let's go to the village. Your passage through the wheat fields is slow and laborious. Drainage ditches cut seemingly at random crisscross the plain. They ensnare your horse's hooves, causing him to stumble and fall. Twice you are thrown, and on the second occasion you gash your head badly on a jagged rock. Later, by chance, you happen upon a cart track that crosses the plain from left to right. Okay, go left. The track takes you to the outskirts of a small river village. It looks deserted, but as though the inhabitants have left in a hurry, taking nothing with them. Oh, we've been here. This is the... Oh, okay. Just ignore them. Okay, so we do all this stuff now. This time, let's try a different option. Let's demand to know what right they have. The sergeant draws his curved cavalry sword and levels it menacingly at your chest. By the right of the Senate of Tahu, government of Inari, he snarls in reply to your demand. And by the right of majority, 20 rangers against 2 outlanders. Both of you drop your weapons at once. Fine. You are unsheathing your weapon when you hear Banadon whisper, "Follow me." No, Banadon, what are you doing? The rangers hear nothing, and as you drop the weapon, their eyes follow it to the ground. At that instant, Banadon quickly recites the runes of a Brotherhood spell, and a flood of sticky fibers gush from his outstretched hand. The sergeant and a dozen of his men are caught in a net of gluey strands that hold them, and their horses rooted firmly to the ground. Banadon spurs his horse at the startled few that have escaped his spell, and you follow closely on his heels. A handful of rangers pursue you along the highway, but your mounts are much faster, and they soon give up the chase and return to their helpless comrades. Only when the rangers and the standing stones finally disappear from sight do you rein in your horses and slacken the pace. So we drop a weapon. Alright. It is late afternoon when you see the Tahu Hills. Oh, okay, we've been here before. Let's try and escape the ambush. Let me end up here. We don't have the invitation. Let's Tell them we want to defend the city. Why not? The guards look at you with distrust in their eyes. They order you to dismount, and one of them hurries off to fetch the gatehouse commander. Minutes later, the officer strides into the enclosure, his face wearing the frown of a man who has gone without sleep for many nights. Wearily, he casts his eye over you both. So you want to fight for Tahu, do you? He says sarcastically. How do I know you're not spies or saboteurs? We're both students of Chiban the Magician, says Banadon, hurriedly trying to defuse the situation. He lives at the guild house on Leech Street in the North District. He will vouch for us. Hold your tongue, snaps the commander at your startled companion. I want your friend to tell me something about this city, the city that he is prepared to lay down his life for. He moves nearer and stares at you icily. In which district of Tahu is the Cauldron to be found? Wait, why would I know this? We're coming to the city to help them to defend it. So why are they testing if I know about the city? What? You know that the city's... okay. We might know this. We've probably seen it in a previous... I don't remember. Maybe the West District? The commander narrows his eyes. Bah, let them enter. We need all the men we can get. Their blood's as good as any that will be spilled in the defense of this city. You cast a glance at Banadon and smile as he wipes a bead of sweat from his brow. Alright, and then we're here. So if we take the first option, we end up in jail. We've got to try different things. And then the... What the... Hold there, booms the mercenary leader. We have a debt to settle. He flips his cloak aside to show his sword in its scabbard and motions two of his men to the door to cut off your escape. The protests of the hall owner go unheeded as the leader draws his sword and signals his men to attack. Whatever. We'll elude. Banadon casts a spell that fills the hall with a flash of light so intense that it stuns everyone for several seconds. In the confusion, you are able to run out of the eating house and escape along the street. And then we end up here. Alright. Oh, bollocks. No, we can't win this. Huh. Oh, it's because we didn't have the... If we get caught in the net, we're dead. Got to find the dagger. It's the only way to win that fight. Take the fire seed, bow, quiver, potion. Lantern. Alright, we've got decent combat skills, so let's just... We tried following the track. Try that again, but this time go to the river. Gradually, the tall fields of unripened wheat thin out as the land descends to the banks of the river Chodas. A long gravel beach lines the east bank and the other side. On the other side, a quarter of a mile away, you see the rolling, treeless plains of Slovia stretching endlessly towards the horizon. You follow this mighty river upstream until you catch sight of a village in the distance. And then we end up here. We'll just take that. Don't take too much because we just can't carry it all. Oh, just take one thing. Oh, I'm going down this path, damn it. Alright, we'll take the water, river, arrows, dagger, lantern. Should take the rope. Oh, we don't need the lantern. So we lost the lantern, rope, water, and scroll of honor, whatever. Okay. I'm quite hurt. Okay, how... Oh, 11 health. Damn it. We have to get that ring, though. We'll have to use the potion here. No, but we need the potion for the final battle. Well, the final battle, you usually have full health at that point. Use the potion now. Damn it! Oh, we got best combat skill, but terrible endurance. You do kind of need endurance for this one as well. Alright. We'll just go down the path we know and see if we can actually just beat the boss straight up. Alright, just follow the safe path. Get the ring. Oh no. Okay, fine. Oh, this is just so bad. We just lose all our stuff. Alright. Yep. This. Another lantern? Because if we lose one... But we have to put them onto... Get rid of that. Take another lantern. So we might not lose both. Dagger. We'll try that. If you just roll that number and you die, for fuck's sake. We really don't want to be lowered down by the senator, because then that's just a really bad outcome. Yes, best combat skill. Alright. This time, we've got to do it. We're basically as strong as you can get. Right, so take all this stuff. The fire seed, potion, bow, wither. Take the dagger. Don't bother with Sidara. Alright, what's the vote? For fuck's sake. We'll keep our weapon, that's the important thing. Take more arrows, water. Take another lantern and another rope. Blankets. It's good enough, I think. No! Fuck off. You just rolled 0 to 3 and die. And that was the best combat skill, really. I'm gonna... Alright, this book is actually starting to get ridiculous. And I was liking the book at the start, but then the ending is... Oh, look at this. One, two... Alright, so this is the better part, but we don't have combat skill this time. Alright, the arrow, blanket, got a dagger already, tin of water, rope, definitely need a rope. Oh, we need a... I'll take it. Oh, we don't have the lantern. We should have taken the lantern. Alright. Instead of... that... Take... the tinderbox. Oh, just roll 0 to 1 and die. Wonderful. You kidding me? I'm starting to think we should just choose our combat skill and just take max combat skill and endurance, because otherwise you just have to die over and over again until you roll top combat skill, don't you? Maybe I should just do that. Because you just can't beat the final boss without... I don't know. No. I'll give it another try. Alright, so make sure we take the lantern, the potion, bow, with a fire seed, because those are the things you don't get given. Why are we even buying this? Just ignore him. Question the farmhands. Go here. Don't even bother with them anymore. Oops. Wait, have I been here before? Oh, we're in jail. But we have been here before. But they let you out, so it's okay. Alright, and then the vote. Oh, box. Take another lantern, dagger, a rope, blanket. Dead. Great. Ball. Alright, let's try this. Dagger, sword, bow. Just do the quickest options. Oh. Wonderful. We're dead. Oh, I'm stuck. Great. This is a loss. I'm trying to beat this legit, but like you literally can't beat that final fight without. We've got to find the dagger. My only hope is that the dagger is a way to just end the combat quickly. And the dagger must be underground, right? Why would it be in the town? That would just be really random. Alright, we made it out the lake. -4. Alright. We have to fight this thing. -6. We could take the side search. Oh, we can't turn it off? Wow. Okay, please. This is what we need. Alright. Weapon mastery. Dagger, sword, bow. Just hope the president votes against us. And then we need side surge. Okay, so fire seed, lantern, potion, bow, quiver. Oh. As long as we have the dagger, but still. So we have to discard half our stuff. Alright. Damn, we really got hurt. Right, what are we on? 18. We have to use the potion here. Okay. 3, 2, 6. Okay, so far so good. Okay, this is our best chance. But he hurts us for 5. Dagger of Vashna. Oh, that's from a previous book, probably. In fact, I might have even had it before. Alright, -5. This is our best chance. We could do Psy Surge. But then we lose health each turn. I don't think Psy Surge is even good to do. We'll just play it. Damn it. Come on. Seriously? Alright, at this point I'm considering looking up a hint, because if there's if it's literally just be really good at combat for that final battle, I just want to know if there's another way. I don't know. I just want to know if the final battle, that battle is avoidable. So let me just look that up. Otherwise, we literally just have to roll over and over again until we get 9-9. Like, and even then, it's unlikely we'll win that fight. Alright, I mean, this is just telling us stuff we know. I'll just skip to the end. Unavoidable enemies. Because I can. But we don't have the dagger. Alright, I don't think there's any actual... Dagger of Vashna is from a previous book. Is it? Let me look this up. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Alright. I think we just gotta roll for good stats, which means we just take a death over and over again until we get good stats. Like, what else can we do? So 6 is not good enough. I want to see what people said about this book. Like... It's just a really hard book. Okay. I don't know what's... We just have to keep trying over and over again. 6 is not good enough. So... just take a death. Death. And start again, roll again. Like, what else can I do? How do I... start again? Cauldron. Cauldron. Here. Nine, 6. That's... yeah, we can deal with that. Okay, take dagger, sword, bow. Curing and Size Surge. Fuck. Alright. As long as we have the weapons, that's the important thing. Okay, what are we on? 22. Okay, so we can beat this guy without wasting the potion. Wait, do we still have the potion? Fuck. We need the potion. Alright. Alright, that was good. Alright, we should be good now until... oh! Wow. That was close. Alright, 3, 2, 6. -8? Let's use Size Surge. Change it to -4. come on. We need to... we need a lot of things to go right. 0, that's a death. Fuck that. I'm wondering if we just, from now on, just give ourselves the max skill and endurance, because it doesn't make sense. You literally can't win if you happen to roll. I have to think about this. To beat this book, you really need to have, like, survived the last few books so that you have lots and lots of stuff. Let's have a look at people have discussed this before. Like, more. Oh, I don't know what to do. Alright, just carry on as I am. So that's a death. Let's restart. Where is... That is such a death. Wait, what book is this? Oh, wrong book. That's a death. Even 8 is not good enough. There. That's there. There. I'm gonna have to think about how we do this from now on. Maybe we just always take max combat. That's gonna change what death counter means now. Well, doesn't matter. Alright. From now on. Wait, but if it's manual, can we change to... So if I do manual... Oh... Choose a number on random... Can we... Okay, after I do this... Can we now switch back to dice rolling? Yes, we can. Alright, we're doing it that way. Alright, from now on we play with max combat skill because it's just otherwise you just have to restart for the right skill. The right rolls. Curing. Say surge. Alright. Fuck. Alright, how much health? Oof, okay. Oh, we don't have the lantern this time. Use a fire seed then. Alright, go guys. That was bad. We got hurt. Do we have the potion? Don't have the potion. We're almost dead. How can we do this? -5. That's as good as we can hope for. Dead. Alright. Right, we need... Okay, we need this option. Oh, come on! We've never actually beat these guards. No, you're meant to die there because they capture you with the net. Stupid. Is that actually unicorn? I never really thought about that. Does this even matter for user generated? I don't know what it does. Right. Dagger, bow, sword. This is going to make such a terrible YouTube video, me just repeating this book over and over again. I'm not even reading out the descriptions anymore. Like, it wouldn't make sense. And we're dead again. This is with max combat skill every time. Fuck off. Dead. Alright, this is the new ridiculous book. I thought the last one was bad, but actually this is much worse. sake. This is gonna go on forever. And this is with max. This is cheating, kind of. Well, in theory, you can just roll dice until you get... It's like in Baldur's Gate. At the start, you can roll dice until you get the highest rolls. That's within the rules, so we're just skipping that part. It's the benefit of the stream, right? Come on. Three times in a row? What are the odds? Like less than 1 in 20, because you'd have to... You need the Senate to vote that way every time. How did anyone ever do this? Like... With the actual physical book, because with the physical book you'd have to be turning pages every time. It'd be so much slower. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. The meals are actually really helpful. I'll take the meals. How many meals do we have? 3. I'll read the meals. Ah, I got hit quite badly. 15. Not too bad. That was with the meals. We would have died if we didn't have those meals. Definitely, I should probably just take lots of meals. Alright, so we got hurt quite a bit. Alright, we saved some endurance there. That's 5. Alright, we do have the ring. Alright. The best thing we can do is use the potion. And then... I think we'll use Sight Search. No, don't use it. Wait, it's only a +2. No, don't use it. Good. Bad. This is stupid. I've got max off both stats. It's harder than life even getting to that point. Bollocks. This is such a terrible book. Like, the time it would have taken me if I had the actual physical book would have been more than, like, doubled, tripled. Do we even need to bring the bow? We do need the bow, but we don't need the arrow. No, we do need the arrows. Just for that thing right there, we need the bow. We don't have any meals. No, that's right. Nice. Okay, we stand a chance here. Alright, this is good. This is the best position we've ever been in. Okay. Right, what are we on? 23. And now use the potion? Oh, we don't have the potion. It would be better if we had the potion, but we've still got decent health. Right. Oh, come on. Look at this. Not terrible, but we lost still. Those deaths where I just died for re-rolling. We'll give them back. We'll take them all. I think there was like 3 of them. So take those off. Because we've changed the system now. They don't even give us meals for our journey. Damn. We got hurt quite badly. Alright, what have we got? Well, come on. There's no chance. Use the potion. Don't use Side Surge. It's just going to make things worse. Yes. Fuck. That was the killing blow. What were we on? Oh. There, we both died together. Hello, DJ. I've just been restarting this over and over and over again. This is the worst book so far. Worse than book 8, which I thought was pretty bad. Like, at this point, I'm just choosing what combat skill and endurance I give myself, because you literally just have to re-roll. If you don't get 9, then that's basically a guaranteed death. This final boss is ridiculous. And like, I'm picking basically the optimal path, but occasionally we die to just like rolls where you roll 0 to 3 and just immediately die. But yeah, I've just been repeating this over and over again for hours. I know all the clicks off by heart now. Okay, this is the good part. Take all the meals, take the rope. Alright. The old speedrunner lifestyle, just do the same thing for hours, yeah. How am I ever going to get through this book? They're getting harder. This series, they're getting harder and harder. I can manage this book. The final boss, the odds are against us, but it's possible. Oh, and this fight's quite tough, but we should be okay. Damn, we can't let this guy hurt us too much. Damn it. Just chipping off damage. Alright, what do we got? 15. Oh, it's not enough. Use potion as well, but 19. Alright, here we go. Dead. And this is with max combat skill every time. And like, I checked a walkthrough just to see if there were other parts, but no, that is an unavoidable fight, and it is as hard as it seems. There's no real tricks to it. You just have to have really good combat skill. You can't do it if you rolled low combat skill at the start, which is stupid. No! Another stupid insta-death that's unavoidable. Drop 0 to 1. I mean, in the other path, it's 0 to 3, so... No, we need the lantern. See, that's the 0 to 3 death. There we go. Dead again. This path again. Please not 0 to 3. Come on, what? Such a troll. No, not the dagger. Now we lose half our things. And we die anyway, because that becomes a 50-50. Oh, for God's sake. Hate this path. Dead. Dead. We're not beating this. I'll just give it until 90 deaths and then try again another day. This is a terrible stream though. Like, it just must be so boring. Hours of this in like the YouTube video if I even bother to upload it. I will, but it'll be a terrible video. Feels like your guy should get stronger through the books, but he seems to be at the exact same strength. Well, if you survive the books, the skills really help, like having more skills, but as I understand it, you only get to pick 3 if you've died. It's not completely clear though. Maybe we can keep... It's not completely clear to me what you're supposed to do if you die on a book. My understanding of it is you have to then replay that book as if you've never played any of the previous books. And that seems to be how this site is coded, but then that's not even completely clear because there's a bug that happens and that makes me have to restart the book, load the book fresh. Because yeah, they're very much expecting you to be a higher rank than the base rank for that fight. Like, that fight's just ridiculous. But if you lose to that fight, then you would be the base rank for the next playthrough, so I don't know. Okay, this is more promising now. Hit quite a bit, but it's okay. Alright, now we're good until the final battle, I think. Alright, what are we on? 20. That's not too bad. And with the potion, 24. That's as good as it gets. Right, here we go. New size surge. Good, good. Okay, good. Okay. Bad. Oh. There's a lot of reading that. Hang on, 1 second. Alright, we did it. At the very moment of his death, the shimmering web of energy that encases the Zakan's body flares with a scarlet brilliance so intense that you are forced to avert your eyes for fear of it blinding you. The light surges and fades, leaving behind a mound of glowing fragments that crumble and dissolve noisily, until all that remains of the Zakan and the Orb of Death is a dark stain on the earth where they fell. The funny thing is, when I was reading the walkthrough, apparently if you have the Summer Sword, like that sword from Book 2, which is crazy powerful, if you somehow manage to survive until this book with it, having it actually makes that fight harder, not easier. So if you choose if you choose the option that says if you have the Summer Sword, somehow that makes the enemy stronger. So it's basically trolling you. People in the forums were discussing that if you have the Summer Sword, then either you should purposely send yourself to jail early on so that you lose the Summer Sword. But you have the option. I think it doesn't clearly say in the rules, but I believe you can just throw items on the ground at any time because it lets you do it here. Like if I press the X button, then I can drop items. So you're freely allowed to drop items. So you could just drop the Summer Sword. But I'm pretty sure that's allowed. But people who weren't allowing that were like getting themselves caught in jail on purpose so that they would get rid of it. Alright. Spurred on by your triumph, the Anarian defenders rally themselves and counterattack to secure the west gate. The Vasagonians who gained entry are either killed or forced back into the moat as the gate is quickly retaken. A cheer resounds from the city wall, a cheer that becomes a chant carrying word of Kimar's demise to the enemy beyond the moat, and gradually the advancing legions slow to a halt as their hope of an easy victory dies. Officers ride to and fro, cursing and threatening their men with all manner of punishment, but their morale is severely shaken. The ranks of armored warriors merely stand in shocked silence and refuse to advance. The sound of distant trumpets is heard, and all eyes turn to the south to see wave upon wave of mounted warriors emerging from the hills around Bavta. They pour from every valley and pass to fill the southern flats with regiments of horsemen, resplendent in uniforms of blue, white, and grey. Our prayers have been answered, says Chiban, as he and Vanadon rejoin you at the city wall. Behold, the allies of Anari have come to aid us in our darkest hour. He points to the advancing cavalry, and you recognize, fluttering from their lances, the battle standards of 3 countries, Firland, Lorden, and Kakush. Then the thunder of their horses' hooves fills the air, and a wave of joy surges through you as you witness their first charge devastate the enemy's ranks, throwing them into chaos and confusion. A great battle ensues as the enemy slowly gather themselves to resist this unexpected assault. By noon, 2 of their armies have been smashed and routed, and the 3rd fights a desperate rearguard action as it covers the chaotic retreat westwards. At last, the fighting around the city comes to an end, and the defenders give voice to their elation that their home has been saved from the hordes of Dark Lord Knag. Senator Zilaris proclaims you the savior of Tahu, and the victorious cheers of the citizens echo through the burning streets and across the flat that lies strewn with enemy dead. Interesting. So if you did lose your summer sword to jail on purpose, you technically would get it back here as well, I think. You gaze at this grim panorama and your blood runs cold, but it is not the sight of the carnage that grips you with fear. It is your growing awareness of a powerful evil that is taking shape above the west gate. A billowing black cloud forms in the sky, and from out of this cloud there comes a harsh and terrible voice. I will be avenged, it booms, its resonance shaking the battlements on which you stand. You steel yourself, half expecting a bolt of lightning to leap from the cloud and hurtle towards you. But no such attack materializes. Instead, the chilling voice continues in a mocking tone. Know this, you will pay for your defiance with your life. I, Knag of Mosgral, have the 3 remaining law stones that you seek, and I shall destroy them when I destroy you, Kai Lord. A gust of wind catches the cloud and it clears swiftly, but it leaves behind a numbing dread that fills your heart, for you sense that the words were no idle threat. The terrible voice of Dark Lord Gnag spoke the truth. Your quest has succeeded, for the wisdom and strength of the Lawstone of Tahu is now a part of your body and spirit, and your defeat of Zakan Kimmer has turned the tide of war decisively against the Dark Lord armies. But the shocking news that the Dark Lords now possess the remaining Lawstones of Nixator heralds the start of a new and deadly perilous episode of the Magnagite quest. If you have the courage of a true Kai Master, the challenge of recovering the last Lawstones from the clutches of your mortal enemies awaits you, beginning in Book 10 of the Lone Wolf series entitled The Dungeons of Torgar. Torgar. Alright. Yep, we'll do that next time then. We'll keep our super... I think from now on, we just play with max combat skill and max endurance, because it just seems... Originally, I assumed it wouldn't matter so much. They even wrote in the description that it wouldn't matter if you have low skill, because there's always other options. Yeah, no, that's not true. Look at that last book. There is no way you can do that without max combat skill, so I think I'm just gonna kick max combat skill every time now. Although, I mean, this time we are a Paymaster Superior, so we'll get one more rank. We'll get one more skill, and it will probably be the hunting one, because that will give us bonus combat as well. Bonus +1. We've kept a bunch of items as well. There's like 10 different items that you can get in that past book. I don't know what they're for. but they all seem to be like treasures, but they're probably like useless. Like at the start, you can find a bunch of jacks, and then they're holding a bunch of like silver goblet and a silk jacket and stuff. And then you can win stuff from the tavern, and you get some other weird stuff like jade anklets and scroll of honor. Yeah, there's about 20 different items, and none of them were called for. So what were they for? Were they just... maybe they were just there so that you'd feel tempted to hold them instead of like useful stuff like ropes and meals and stuff because of your backpack limit. And that's just to troll you, basically. Weigh you down with treasures which have no practical use. We've got the fight seeds. Those are pretty useful, actually. I don't know why you get this receipt, either. I don't know what that's for. Who asks for the receipt? Oh, the psychic ring. Which path were we on in that one? If we... Because you can get the psychic ring in either path, but if we went with the thieves path, then the guy wants us to give the ring back to him. But if we went... Anyway, it'll be programmed in, so it will know when we get to that point. If the guy asks us for the ring, we'll have to hand it over, or just not. I will, though, but... Alright. What a terrible book. I mean, I was... The first half, up until the final boss, I thought it was actually a good book. I was actually complimenting it, saying it was way better than the previous book. It all just got spoiled by that final boss. There should have been ways around it. Yes, it wasn't actually a bad book. It was just spoiled by the final boss. But if that were just if that were fixed somehow, then it was actually a decent book because it was actually quite interesting. And I thought it had a better start than the previous book. All right. Oh my god, there's a lot of reading for next time. Can't do that now, it's going to destroy my voice. Alright, well that's next time. $88 deaths. Alright, see you next time, Lone Wolf. I don't know why this is even the book cover. We didn't even see this scene in the book. Oh wait, yeah, we did.